Yo, so I don't know if you can see it that well, but you see that? That's a full moon. That's a full moon. And many people tonight are doing full moon rituals all over the planet. All over the planet, people are looking to the full moon as a time frame for when they want to manifest things in their lives. They've been, working their way up as the moon has been growing into tonight to culminate into the full moon. Now, depending upon what other stars and planets and things are going on, retrogrades, those sorts of things, there are added things that people are doing. People have their stones that they put out in order to gain that full moon energy. They put water out to get full moon water. They're taking spiritual baths today. They're doing all these different things to be able to process an energy that is available to them on a full moon. And we're going to talk about whether or not it's real, or if it's BS, or if it doesn't matter at all. So what's up, everybody? How you doing? This is your Coach Renz. I want to thank everybody for joining me on this full moon in August. Joining me to be able to talk about this, to kind of get a handle on it. And for all those who subscribe with me on Facebook, I appreciate it. Subscribe with me on YouTube, I appreciate it. Continue to subscribe. That helps the channel. Hit the like button. Let's have comment. Tell me what you've manifested on a full moon ritual. Tell me what full moon rituals you do, or if you don't do it, if you think it's a bunch of bunk. But if you have, if you participate, if you have crystals and rocks and stones, let's talk about what kind of things you have that you utilize to manifest on these days, on these nights, the different moons that occur, the 13 full moons, usually 13 full moons in a year. Let's talk about it in the comments. And if you're finding me for the first time, we talk about everything. We talk about your relationship, we talk about money, we talk about wealth, health, spirituality, the whole deal. And tonight we're talking about this full moon that's going on right there, right there. The full moon. Let me pinch it. Pinch the full moon. Anyway, so let's think about science first. Let's think about the science of it. We know that our bodies is composed of water. We know that the moon itself and this gravitational pull on the earth is what creates our tides, our ups and downs. We know that that has an effect on us as we walk throughout our day. We can look at police reports and we can see that there's more crime that occurs during a full moon than it does during a no moon or a growing moon or a waning moon. We understand this. This is proven. We can look at this. We can see police reports. If any police officers are listening to this, confirm or deny if you know. But we know that happens. We know police officers often talk about that. We know that there are many myths about it. We know that people talk about werewolves, but we're not talking about that. But we also know scientifically, so I got into myths, I didn't mean to, but scientifically, we also know that items hold energy. That if you've ever been camping, you put stones around the fire in order for the stones to heat up and hold that heat energy, and then that heat energy continues to keep the area warm throughout the evening. Well, so we know that stones can hold energy. So when people think about the moon and the full moon and they want to hold energy into their crystals, we know that rock, stone, these things, these geological things hold energy. We know that. We know as human beings, we hold energy. We know that there's an electrical energy that flows through us. We don't necessarily know where it comes from, how it starts, where the beginning, where the end, but we know it's there. We can measure it. We can measure it. Even if you're just measuring your frequency or your pulse, we know it. There's a magnetic flow around us. We understand that, and the moon works with that magnetic flow. We know that these things scientifically exist. We may not know how. We may not know all the information as to what it does. But what we have seen is that people do utilize it. Now let's talk about psychosis. Let's talk about psychosis a bit. I know growing up with farmers that in every farmer's almanac, you only plant during a growing moon. In the spring, you don't plant during a waning moon. You plant during a growing moon. And this has gone into corporations. Many corporations, they will launch things during a growing moon and on a full moon. They will look to release things during a waning moon and a no moon. And then on a new moon, they start bringing out new stuff. And they let it grow through the full moon. So we know psychosis-wise, plant farmers have used the growing moon. They also use the harvest moon when I think it's around September, October, when after the full moon, that's when they begin their harvest season. I think it's in September, but they begin the harvest. But it's after the full moon. the harvest moon, they start to do that. So we know farmers they understand there's a connection with the cycles of the moon and nature and how they plant and how they harvest. So we know that is there mentally. Now, because of the mental nature of the universe, we also can say, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that there's enough mental energy of people. If enough people agree upon a thing and enough people focus on a thing, that thing becomes reality. So in that, we know that if people have the mindset that on the full moon more crime happens, then there is a mindset, a group think energy that goes out, and people find themselves committing more acts of violence, or committing more crimes, or being out doing things they shouldn't be doing. We know there's a mental psychosis to it. If you believe that, and this goes into the law of mentalism, if you believe that the full moon is causing you to act out of character, then of course you're going to act out of character. But is it the moon, or is it your belief in what the moon is doing? That's a psychosis that we can fall into. So can it be the moon play a part? Sure. But is your mind playing a part as well, a bigger part? Sure. I will agree to that. Now, because in all civilizations, ancient, most civilizations, ancient civilizations, the star charts were made when you were born. When a child was born, they look at the star chart, they see where the moon was, where the sun was. The sun gives you your solar, astrological, like I'm a Libra, solar-wise. But then, as far as the moon is concerned, I'm a Virgo, lunar. My lunar symbol is Virgo. But when I look at my star chart, the moon is in what house is it in? Is it, what phase is it in? Where the planets were? Were there any other planets with the moon at that time frame? Normally Venus or Mars is close to the moon, sometimes Jupiter. And it's like, where were all these things and what houses and their degrees and aspects and all these kind of things? These star charts were made in order to predict the type of person you were or going to become. They predicted your behavior. They predicted the outcome of the civilization. So people use those. Matter of fact, many Native American cultures use the moon to tell time. That's why they had 13 months in their years. But these star charts are made because they believe that it had an effect on who you are. And I must admit, when I read my star chart, it does have about an 80% accuracy as to the type of person I became and the type of person that I am. So I can't 100% deny it. But what I can tell you is that your belief factor makes bigger difference than anything else. That the belief factor of everyone around you make a bigger difference than anything else. Okay? So when we talk about full moon energy, when we talk about new moons, when we talk about growing moons and waning moons and what they mean, the key to it is what it means to you. See, the full moon is I am one that will meditate a certain way from a new moon to a full moon, and then from a waning moon to the new moon. I am a certain person. I meditate a certain way. All this time frame, as the moon has been growing, I've been thinking about what I want to grow. I've been meditating on what I want to grow. I've been initiating new marketing policies and new marketing strategies for Uncle Ren's Popcorn. I've been doing new marketing strategies for Coach Ren's. I've been adding and doing more. I didn't start a new educational program until the new moon happened, and I've been working through that educational program as the moon has been growing. Now, as the moon grows, I'll do that. Now, it culminates on tonight. And after tonight, I will refocus my meditations and my thoughts and the things that I'm doing on what I'm going to release. Because after the full moon, it's about releasing. So I start thinking about the things I want to release. I want to release some of my bad eating habits, release my procrastination to getting into the gym. Y'all can't see all this down here, but release my procrastination to getting into the gym. I want to release some of the things that, have been, bothering me, weighing on me. Release some of those things and release certain habits that I may have or may not, maybe one or two habits I want to release during this time frame. So it's a focus on releasing. And as much as the moon exists, as much as energy it produces, the main thing is that I use this moon as a trigger. So that every night when I look at the moon and I see it waning, after tonight it'll start waning. When I see that waning moon, it reminds me it's a trigger. Got to release this. Got to release some of the procrastination as far as going into getting in the gym. Got to release, certain marketing strategies that haven't been working. Got to release, certain people around me that haven't been to my benefit. Got to release all the things I need to release. The moon serves as a trigger for my mentality to start releasing. When that moon cycle goes and we start getting into the new moon around the first part of September, and it starts a new moon. So hey, what new I want to bring in my life? Now let me start growing it, and that moon will be a trigger. Every time I look at it at night, it triggers me. I'm growing this. It triggers me. I'm growing that. Until it comes into the new moon. I cycle through this every month. Every month I'm doing this cycle. Every moon cycle I'm doing this cycle of implementing and releasing. So if for nothing, although I may not understand, and I don't understand everything that the energy of the moon, and we still don't. I don't understand it all. Right? Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm playing with it. I'm holding an infinity stone. But even though I don't understand all the power of this infinity stone of the moon, what I do know is that it creates a trigger that I can use to change my life, to use the law of mentalism, to use the law of cause and effect, to use the law of vibration. Because every time I grab this infinity stone of a moon, then I know that I am, accessing a power inside of me to be able to change my life. And every time I change my life, it affects those around me. So I start saying, okay, what's the difference? What's my different attitude? What's my different thoughts? What's my different function? What are the things I'm doing different? My different actions? Does that increase my vibration? Does it lower my vibration? I'm going to keep increasing or lowering my vibration, both based on holding this infinity power of the stone of the moon. Yes, I'm a Marvel fan. So that's what it means to me. My question is, what does it mean to you? Can you use it as a trigger? Of course you can. You can use it as a trigger to keep improving your life. You can use it as a trigger to say that, okay, you know what? I want to do better on my budget. The full moon is here. We're about to do a waning moon after this. So for the next, 12, 13 days, as the moon is waning into a new moon, then what I'm going to focus on is I'm going to start releasing my inability to budget my money. I'm going to release me not spending time with my loved one. I'm going to release overworking. I'm going to release watching as much television. I'm going to release eating fatty foods. I'm going to release whatever it is that you want to release. And then so that when we get into the growing moon, you can say, okay, I'm going to track. The new thing is I'm going to be on a budget, and I'm going to track every dime, every dollar that I spend. All right, I'm going to make sure I grow my investment account. So every month I'm going to grow the money. Every week I'm going to grow my money into the investment. I'm going to grow it. I'm going to put my 10% of what I make into my investment account. I'm going to grow my affections for my spouse or for my significant other. I'm going to grow my affections every day of the growing moon. I'm going to grow it. And on a full moon, we're going to go on a big date and really enjoy ourselves, as a culmination of me changing my attitude towards my significant other. You keep doing those things. Maybe what you do is in the gym, you say, okay, I'm working out, I'm growing, I'm getting better, getting stronger, and I'm going to do my measurements on a full moon. Now I'm going to do, every time there's a full moon, I'm going to do my measurement, I'm going to do my weight, I'm going to track my, how well I've been doing, because I'm going to use the power of this infinity stone of a moon, and I'm going to use this as a trigger. And whatever energies is going on that I may not understand, I may not even fully agree with, all I know is that it happens. I'm going to go ahead and do it. It's just like Jim Rohn said, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes we got to be busy picking up the fruit instead of worrying about the root. Meaning that sometimes we just got to see something. We know it's there. We know it has a function. We know it has energy. We know it's doing something, but it's producing a fruit. It's producing service. It's producing energy. It's producing mass psychosis. It's producing something that I can use to my benefit. And I'm going to pick the fruit of it. I'm going to use it. And I'm not going to worry about the root, because right now I don't know the root. I don't know the root. I don't fully understand. Nobody knows the fullness of the root of this precious stone here, this rock, this gem, this geological treasure. We may not know all the root of it. We may not know the root, but we're going to utilize the fruit of it. Just like in the law, Hermetic laws, we don't understand the fullness of it, but we're going to use the fruit as we dig deeper to discover it. So, in conclusion, it's a full moon. What does it do for you? What does it mean to you? Do you take your spiritual baths? Do you draw your circle and do your incantations? Yeah, I be drawing my circle and doing my incantations. So for all those who say, oh, he's a witch, a warlock, whatever, you can call it whatever you like. It's all triggers. It's all different ceremonies to get your mind and your actions to increase your vibration, to move you up the polarity scale. It doesn't matter about what people think about it. It doesn't matter if it's actually something you have to do. It's just a ritual that creates a trigger for you. So if you open your circle, draw your circle with chalk or with salt, put your symbols and your emblems inside your circle, stand in the middle of it and cast your spell, whatever you do. Or if you just go into your closet and you pray, and you got a special full moon prayer, you go into your closet and you pray. That's your closet is the same as the circle that those who draw circles. If you are just getting on the side of your bed, and if you're just going into your meditation room and sitting on your pillows and holding your mudras, for whatever meditation you're doing, holding your mudra for your power chakra. Whatever you're doing, you're just going to do it as a symbol to get your body into a movement, to increase your vibration, to get your mind into a state, to increase your vibration, so that your actions then begin to follow suit as to what your thoughts are. And then thereby, you are using male and female energy to create that new thing you want in your life, or to release that thing in your life, to either increase a vibration or slow down a vibration, so that you start to move on the side of the polarity scale that you're looking and you desire to be on. So I want to know what you do. What do you do in order to change your life by utilizing? Do you use this moon energy to do that? Or is it just a reflective light in the sky from the sun? It could be just that. A reflective light in the sky from the sun that has a gravitational pull that moves water around the planet. It could be as simple as that. But it's all up to you. And remember, your path is your path. And if I can stand on a mountaintop and shout out my truth and not give two cents about what anybody thinks about it, and still be fine with it, so can you. Nobody has to agree with you. Nobody has to agree with me. Be fine, be confident in your own truth, your own belief, your own pathway, and whatever that thing here means to you in your pathway, follow it to the letter. See what results you get. If you get your desired results, don't worry about anybody else. If you don't, flip it, change it, do something different. But always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and like this video, share it. And I appreciate you guys, and let's hear what you got to say in the comments. So y'all have a great day, and remember, order from Uncle Ren's Popcorn. You are popcorn, the letter U, the letter R, the word popcorn.com. I appreciate it. It helps out the channel. And all my patrons, I really appreciate you guys. Have a great day, great night. Have a blessed, amazing full moon ritual, if that's what you're doing, if that's what you're into. Y'all have a good night. Peace.